everyone. My name is Syed. I'm a school counselor at Jones College Prep, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to share a little bit about myself. My preferred pronouns are she, her, and hers, and my current caseload for the 2020-2021 school year for sophomores through seniors is students with the last names A through Chow, and for ninth grade, it is students with the last names A through Cruz. A little bit about my background. I was born and raised in the northwest suburbs of Chicago in a town called Buffalo Grove. My parents immigrated to the US in the 70s from India, so I am first generation American. I identify as cisgender Indian American female. I got married 15 years ago and have three amazing children. I earned both my bachelor's and my master's degree in education from DePaul University in Chicago. My bachelor's was in education and my master's degree was in human services and counseling. I started my career in education 16 years ago as a social science teacher at a school called Farragut Career Academy in the west side of Chicago. And I have to say, my favorite class I ever taught was women's studies. A lot of people will ask me why counseling. What about counseling made me want to go into school counseling as a career. Initially, as I said, I was a high school social science teacher. And in that time that I was working with students as a teacher, I realized that a lot of students would come to me with certain concerns or questions about college or questions about what they should do after high school, questions about family issues. And so a lot of students would come to me and I really enjoyed working with them, being their advocate, supporting them, giving them resources, tools, and realized through that process that I really am more passionate and excited about helping students in a more holistic way than just in understanding one subject area. And so I decided to go into school counseling for that reason. I also am very passionate about making sure that students have the skills, the tools, the resources to be successful, not just in high school, but in life. And so I really feel that that is important. So I wanted to be a contributor in that way. I also am very passionate about and wanted to advocate for students who have certain barriers in place, hindering them from being as successful as possible. And so being an advocate for those students and trying to reduce those barriers for them was really important to me. And a lot of the work that I try to do as a school counselor is in that sort of way. The other thing is I love working with people. I am not the person that could work in corporate America and just sort of sit at a desk and be isolated. And so school counseling and just being in education, you are in contact with a lot of different people and you work with a lot of different people from all different perspectives, all different places. And that really appeals to me about education in general. My school counselor relationship. My school counselor, where I went to high school, was not very helpful. It was a different time. It was a while ago. So no, I'm not blaming her or anything, but it just wasn't the type of relationship I hope to have with my students. I only met with a counselor to register for classes or if I needed to drop a class or add a class. And the school counselor never really reached out to me with resources or tools. The college planning process was really difficult for me because I was first generation. I did have an older sister who went to college, but she was away. And so I didn't really have the help that I could have used to make sure my decision was as best as possible at the time. And so I didn't really get much help from her. Which is why when I became a school counselor, I do keep that in mind because that's exactly what I hope not to do for my students. My connection to the Jones community is a few different things. I think it's a place where I and people can build connections. There are people with so many different perspectives, so many different walks of life that I think it also is nice to have those perspectives and to be exposed to people and to interact with people who come from a different walk of life. And so building connections with them, understanding their different perspectives, I think is a really great part of the Jones community and something that I really value. I have worked there for 10 years. This is going to be my 11th year. And I feel like it's my second home. I spend a lot of time during the school year at work and at Jones. And I think for the last 10 years, sometimes I feel like I've spent more time at school at Jones than I do at home. And I really love my students. I love the community. I think it's great. And I really do see it as my second home. I also see it as a place where I learn and I grow. And that comes from my students and that comes from my colleagues. And so I feel like it is a place where I can continue to learn, continue to grow, be faced with new challenges and new things that make me a better counselor. And also, I think it's a welcoming and supportive, and I hope that I contribute to this. But I do feel that within my counseling team, I feel very supported. I have always felt welcomed. And so I hope that students feel the same way. But the Jones community is a really important part of me because I am so much a part of it. And I hope to contribute to it in a positive way. A couple favorites of mine. I think self-care, as many counselors, as all of the Jones counselors at least, feel is very, very important. And so everyone should have a few favorites. So a few of my favorites are taking walks, listening to the Calm app for a few minutes every morning and evening. I love to shop, and it is therapy for me in some way. Listening to music, doing some deep breathing exercises. Those are just a few of the things that I do to sort of take care of myself and to take time away from everything to spend on myself. A couple hobbies. I like cooking. I like making jewelry, reading, truly just staying busy with my kids, organizing my life. And I love, love, love to travel, and I wish I could do more of that in the future. A couple shows that I'm into. This Is Us is one of my all-time favorites. Love it or list it. I know I'm all about renovating homes and seeing what's new out there. And then Little Fires Everywhere I recently watched and I really, really loved it. An old school show, Seinfeld. If you need a laugh, it's a great show. And I love any cooking competition shows. There's many out there, so really I'll watch any of those. I don't get to watch much television, but when I do enjoy it. And that's a little bit about me. So if you have any questions, please reach out and I'll see you later.